Hi there, welcome back to a new vlog. Now you probably noticed that I got a haircut. And there's a story behind that, a really awkward story behind that, like most things in my life. And I'm gonna share that story with you. This took place this morning, so it's fresh in my mind. Oh, so fresh in my mind. So I had my appointment at 11 a.m. I arrived at 10:55 a.m., 5 minutes before my appointment, because I'm punctual. My punctuality has nothing to do with the story, I just wanted to flex a bit. So I arrive, I sit down, wait my turn. My hairdresser arrives, signals for me to come sit down. I sit down. Because we're still in a pandemic, I had my mask on, he had his mask on. Exchanged some small talk before sitting down. Hey, how are you? Good, how are you? Good, cool. We crushed the topics today. I'm introverted, I don't like small talk. I want to sit there quietly and get my hair cut, but obviously they don't like doing that and they have to talk. Foreshadowing. Anyways, I'm sitting there, he's cutting my hair, snip, snip, snip. He's kind of cutting around my ears at this point, and I noticed that he started talking to me. Now, I couldn't really hear him, to be honest, because I had a mask on, he had a mask on. He was speaking through his mask while he was also snipping in my ear. So all I could hear was muffled noises and the sound of snipping in my ear. So I just kind of looked at him, smiled, and nodded. I thought he was telling me something that happened to him. I couldn't hear, so I have no idea what he was telling me. But it went on for a couple minutes. He was just snipping away at my ear. And at one point he stopped snipping in my ears, looks at my reflection and just blatantly says, "You can't hear me, can you? Or you're just ignoring me." And he kind of laughed awkwardly. And I felt bad because, it's the last thing I want, him calling me out on not being able to hear him. Come on, dude. It's like it's the first time you cut someone's hair and they don't want to talk. So I was honest with him. I said, I can't hear a word you're saying. Your voice is muffled and you're also cutting in my ears. So we laughed at it. I was like, okay, awkward situation averted. Let's go on. So he finished cutting around my ears and he started cutting around the back of my head, I guess. I don't know. And I noticed he started talking again, but I felt bad. And I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see his reflection. And at this point I was like, I'm gonna avoid an awkward situation. I'm gonna start replying to him. So I was giving him some, "Oh yeah, of course, totally," the kind of filler words that make it seem like you're following along, but you're not. And I was like, oh, this is working. He keeps going, and I'm yesing and stuff like that. And about a minute later, maybe longer, I don't know. He stops. He looks the reflection to me, which I couldn't really see because I'm not wearing my glasses at this point. And he just signals that he was on the phone. And I turned red and I was really embarrassed. And I was like, no, of course this would happen to me. I decide to step up and reply, and he's not talking to me. So cool, 10 points for Gryffindor. Moving on, I'm turning red. And at this point I noticed that as he was cutting away, little tiny hairs started to fall and get stuck between my mask and my face. And these tiny hairs tickle the shit out of you. And they were tickling my nose, my mouth. And I was like, oh no, this is really uncomfortable. And I couldn't, you can't reach in to clear it out because your hands are under this blanket that protects your body from stray hairs. But no, these hairs were stuck in my mouth and they started to tickle around my nose, which was dangerous because I felt like a sneeze was coming. And I was really conscious and I was telling myself, you can't sneeze. We're in the middle of the pandemic. Don't sneeze because then people are gonna start questioning if you got anything going on. So I was trying to hold it in and I was crunching my face, when you're really trying not to sneeze and you're like. But anyways, when you see the eyes at that point, it could be misunderstanding because I was holding it in for so long that my eyes started to tear up. And I think the hairdresser noticed that my eyes were kind of clenching and something was going on. And I think he misinterpreted because he probably thought that I was feeling awkward at that point and I was about to cry or something because he started saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. It happens to everyone. Don't worry about it." And I was shaking my head signaling that wasn't it. But I couldn't talk because the moment I opened my mouth, I knew that a sneeze was just gonna shoot right out. And so I was just like, no. And then I was trying to take deep breaths to calm myself down so I could maybe get a word out without sneezing. And I managed to calm myself down. It had calmed down and I thought to myself, okay, I'll just explain it real quick. And I opened my mouth, and the second I opened my mouth, I shit you not, and I sneezed, and my mask, which was kind of loosely on my face at this point, just shut off and fell on the floor. The whole shop was silent. I am so glad I couldn't see shit because I could kind of tell in the reflection that faces just turned and were staring at me. And I was just feeling so awkward at that point. And then they just all started laughing. Oh. Suffice to say, I paid, I got the out of there, and I'm never going back again. I need to find a new hairdresser. That's the story. That's the awkward story. Why does this shit keep happening?